3 months ago, I received a tip that changed everything I thought I knew about Altcoin Wars. The world's biggest crypto investors are quietly abandoning this one blockchain for another, but it's not as straightforward as it seems. I'm going to show you guys in this video why Raoul Pal dumped his soul bags, why Kevin O Leary called Sui the hottest ticket in Web3, and the shocking data that proves one of these blockchains has been hiding something massive from its users. Make sure to watch this one to the end. If you're holding either Sol, Sui, or other leading altcoins this cycle, what you're about to learn could save your portfolio. All right, now picture this. You're at a blockchain F1 race. On one side, there's Solana, the turbocharged beast that's been flooring it since 2020, clocking in at 65,000 TPS, moving faster than Dark Helmet's spacecraft in Spaceballs when they hit ludicrous speed.
Now hear this! Ludicrous speed!
Sir, had you better buckle up?
Now buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
And on the other side, there's Sui, the fresh off the lot newcomer engineered by ex-Facebook engineers. These guys walked away from Zuckerberg's empire to build something even bigger. The same influencers who made you rich on Solana are now calling Sui the soul of this cycle. Welcome to the Coin Zone, where we uncover the hidden truths behind crypto and money. I'm your host, Crypto with Paul. Now, before we get into this, guys, I need to get something straight with you guys, all right? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a legal advisor. I'm not a Sui or a Sol shill, just a regular guy from Jersey with a lot of time in my tiny hands. And what I've been doing with my time on my tiny hands, it's a lot of digging for you guys. So I'm not a legal advisor or a Sui or a Sol shill. You got that? Okay, good. Because what I discovered in my investigation will flip everything you think you know. According to data I pulled from September of this year, Solana's total value lock exploded to $12.2 billion, a mind-blowing 165% increase from just $4.63 billion in September of 2024. That's not growth, that's a rocket ship. But then there's Sui. At the beginning of 2025, they crossed over $2 billion in TVL, doubling in just 3 months. And the smart money, they're not just watching, they're moving. And today we're not just comparing two blockchains, we're exposing a war that could determine the future of Web3. Before we throw these two blockchains onto the track, let's hit the rewind button and unpack their origin stories like a nice little bedtime story.
Bedtime story. All right, I'll tell you one of my favorites.
First up, we have Solana. Born in March of 2020 in the sun-soaked streets of San Francisco, but this wasn't your typical Silicon Valley startup. It's the DeFi summer of 2020. Ethereum is absolutely choking on $100 gas fees. A simple Uniswap swap could cost you more than your monthly Netflix subscription, and degens everywhere are screaming for a solution. Well, enter Anatoly Yankovenko, a former Qualcomm engineer who spent years making your phone calls not drop. Okay, this guy looks at blockchain and says something crazy. Basically says, what if we can timestamp everything before it happens? Okay, I know that sounds insane, but hear me out. So Solana introduced proof of history. Okay, imagine a time-traveling accountant on his 4th Red Bull of the day, stamping every transaction with a cryptographic timestamp before validators even see it. It's like giving every transaction a fast pass to Disneyland. This innovation lets Solana theoretically pump out 65,000 transactions per second. And in August 2025, according to Financial Context, the network processed an astounding 2.9 billion transactions in a single month. That matches Ethereum's entire transaction count since it launched in 2015. In 1 month, guys. Okay, we're talking about a Formula One car in a world that was built for horse-drawn carriages. The network now powers lightning-fast DeFi swaps on Radium, NFT drops on Magic Eden that sell out in seconds, and meme coin manias like Bonk and Whiff that are turning regular people into millionaires. Solana launched at just 77 cents in 2020. Imagine snagging that bag before it rocketed to $294 in August of 2025. That's a 381x return, so meaning your $1,000 turns into $381,000. It's pretty insane. But speed comes with the dark side. According to Helios's comprehensive analysis from February 2025, Solana has experienced 7 separate major outage incidents since launch. 7 times the entire network just stopped. Okay, we'll dig into what that really means later, but the truth is more complex than the FUD suggests. Now let's shift gears to Sui, the polished prodigy with Silicon Valley swagger that screams the next big thing. Launched in May of 2023 by Miston Labs, but here's where it gets juicy. Sui was forged in the fire of one of tech's biggest failures. Okay, it's 2021, and Facebook, yes, not Meta yet, is trying to launch Diem, their grand vision to bring digital dollars to 2 billion users. Zuck is literally dreaming of becoming the world's central bank. Congress is freaking out. Regulators are circling like sharks. And then it all collapses. Okay, Diem dies, but here's what nobody tells you. The same day Diem's death is announced internally, 5 senior engineers, Evan Chang, Sam Blackshire, George Denisis, Kostas Chokaias, and Adenai Bowden all walk out together. But here's the thing, okay? These aren't just your normal engineers. These are the architects of the Move programming language. This is the secret sauce that would have made Diem revolutionary. They're not giving up yet. These guys are basically going rogue. So they take Move, they dust off the ashes of Zuckerberg's failed empire and build something completely different. Sui's object-oriented model treats every asset like an independent superhero. Okay, we got Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man. They're all working in parallel without ever colliding.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Unlike Solana, where transactions quay up like cars in rush hour traffic. See, Sui processes everything simultaneously. It's like swapping a rusty bike for a teleportation device. The results are mind-blowing. According to Staken's February 2025 report, Sui's Base Camp conference achieved something everyone said was impossible. 390 millisecond latency while processing over 297,000 transactions per second with sub-second finality. Okay, that's not just fast, that's faster than your brain can process visual information. What's the goal? A blockchain that's a Swiss Army knife for Web3. Gaming, DeFi, real-world assets, all running smoother than butter on hot toast. But here's the catch that nobody's talking about. Solana is a battled, scarred veteran with 12 billion in TVL, thousands of dApps, and partnerships with Visa and PayPal. Sui just crossed 2.6 billion in TVL. It's like David versus Goliath. If David had Facebook's old weapons and Goliath kept tripping over his own feet. Now here's where our story takes a dark turn, because what's happening behind the scenes has the crypto world buzzing louder than a bee on espresso. Big names are flipping their portfolios from Solana to Sui faster than you can say rug pull. And when I started tracking the on-chain data, I found something that truly made my jaw drop. Raoul Pal, the macro guru who called Bitcoin at 3,000, dropped a bombshell in this 2025 recent video.
I'm massively overweight, Sui.
Oversold.
Massively.
Can I ask you, percentages-wise, more or less?
I'm definitely over 70%.
Paradigm shift, 10x potential. These aren't words Pal throws around lightly. Right? This is the guy who predicted the 2008 crash and Bitcoin's rise to $100,000. But here's what he didn't mention in that video. According to on-chain data that anybody can go and verify, wallets associated with his fund started accumulating Sui 3 months before that video dropped. Right? We're talking millions of dollars, moved quietly, systematically. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything illegal going on here, but it sure does make you wonder. When these influencers pump people's bags, how long have they been buying for? Then Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful himself, goes on CNBC and drops this bombshell.
And I'm a believer in the payment system side. I think the hottest ticket right now is Sui.
Within 24 hours of that video, Sui pumps 15%. 15%, guys, from one TV interview. But here's a small pattern I noticed, all right? 6 hours before that interview, and this is all verifiable on chain, massive wallets started moving SOL to exchanges. We're talking $47 million worth of selling pressure right before the pump. Is that a coincidence? Maybe. But in crypto, I don't think things are just coincidences. And it's not just influencers too, guys. According to data from DeFi Llama and confirmed by multiple sources, something massive happened in Q3 2025. Sui's TVL didn't just grow, it exploded. Went from 1 billion to 2.6 billion in 3 months. But when I dug into the wallet addresses, 80% of that growth came from just 12 wallets. Institutional wallets with millions flowing in like clockwork. Van Eck is incorporating Sui into investment products. 21 shares filed for a spot ETF. Copper announced custody infrastructure specifically for Sui. Grayscale launches its own new trusts. Meanwhile, what's happening with Solana? Franklin Templeton and BlackRock are tokenizing money market funds on it. Visa is running payment pilots that processed 10 million transactions in Q1 2025 alone. PayPal's PYUSD stablecoin called Solana Home. Both chains are seeing institutional adoption, but they're attracting different types of money for different reasons. And that's the difference that could determine everything. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Speed. And not IShowSpeed, all right? But shout out to him, though. Because both chains claim to be the fastest gun in the West, but the reality is way more complicated than anyone knows. Solana claims 65,000 TPS theoretically. That number gets thrown around like gospel. But here's the reality. According to actual network data from 2025, Solana averages around 4,700 TPS during peak hours. Still incredibly fast, faster than Visa's network, but nowhere near the marketing numbers. And here's their dirty little secret. According to Helios and confirmed on-chain data, about 30% of transactions fail, right? That's nearly 1 in 3. Imagine every 1/3 text message you sent didn't even go through. Would you like that? Probably not. But before you run from Sol screaming that it's a scam, etc., understand this. Even with those failures, Solana is processing more successful transactions than almost any other blockchain. We're talking about 81% of all transactions are happening on Solana according to September 2025 data. Now, Sui claims around 297,000 transactions per second, and that number is real. All right, I've seen the data from their base camp myself. But here's the catch that nobody mentions. This was on a testnet with synthetic transactions, no real money, no real stress. It's like claiming your car can go 300 miles an hour because you did it with it in a video game. Real world Sui, the network handling about 10,000 TPS on mainnet under normal conditions, still blazing fast, still impressive, but not revolutionary like the marketing suggests. But speed just isn't about transactions per second. It's about finality too. When your transaction is actually irreversibly done. Solana's finality is 400 milliseconds, Sui's finality 390 milliseconds. We're talking about fractions of a second. Both are so fast that the difference is literally imperceivable to humans. It's like arguing whether Flash or Superman is faster. It's like, okay, they're both fast at the end of the day. Who cares by how much more? Now we need to also address the massive network crash elephant that's in the room as well. Hello, Mr. Elephant. Because here's where the FUD meets the facts, and the truth is more nuanced than either the haters or the maxis care to admit. According to Helios's comprehensive February 2025 analysis and StatGator's monitoring, here's what actually happened. September 2021, the network has first major failure, 17 hours of complete darkness. The Grape Protocol IDO on Radium triggered a bot attack that overwhelmed 400,000 transactions per second. The network couldn't even handle its own success. Then throughout 2022, multiple outages, sometimes even monthly. The network was growing faster than the infrastructure could handle. It was like trying to run a Formula One race on roads built for carriages. February 2024, the last official outage. 6 hours of downtime, a bug in the legacy loader system caused an infinite loop. Since then, according to official sources, Solana has maintained continuous operation for over 12 months as of October 2025. That is the longest streak in its history. But here's where it gets controversial. StatusGator's independent monitoring detected 9 service disruptions between October 2024 and February 2025. These were never officially acknowledged. October 28th, 2024, network unavailable for exchanges. November 20th, 2024, transaction confirming failure. January 18th, 2025, 13-hour delays in wallet transfers. So were these fully outages? No, they were degraded performance that affected users. Okay, it's like saying your car never officially broke down, but when it stalls out at red lights, yeah, there's something wrong. So here's what's actually being done about it. Jump Crypto is building FireDancer, a completely independent validator client written from scratch. As of January 2025, 18 FireDancer validators were running on the network. Think of it like this. If all validators run on the same software and that software has a bug, the entire network can die. But if validators run different software that does the same job, one bug can't kill everything. It's basic redundancy and Solana desperately needs it. So will FireDancer fix everything? The honest answer is we don't know yet. But it's a massive step forward in the right direction for stability, and Solana truly needs it to compete with traditional finance. Meanwhile, Sui has never basically had a consensus failure since mainnet launch. The Cetus DEX got exploited for $220 million in Q2 of 2025, but the network kept itself running. 80% of those funds were also recovered as well within a couple of days. So is Sui more stable than Solana? Well, based on the data, yes. But it's also processing far fewer transactions with far less stress. It's like saying a random small town has a worse traffic problem than New York City. Okay, maybe it has a bad problem, but that's not the whole story. And it's New York freaking City. So let's talk about what actually matters. What can you actually do on these chains? Technology without application is just mathematics. Solana's DeFi ecosystem is absolutely massive, all right? We're talking about 12.27 billion in TVL as of September 2025. That's real money, locked in real protocols, earning real yield. Jupiter processes 35 billion in monthly trading volume. Radium surpassed Uniswap's Ethereum volume in 2024. Jito's liquid staking manages over 12 billion. This isn't just speculation anymore. It's real infrastructure. And guys, I haven't even talked about the meme coins yet. I mentioned Bonk, I mentioned WIF. There's also Trump coin. When President Trump launched his Trump token in February of 2025, he chose Solana, and he cited the network's speed and low costs. It hit 1.78 billion market cap within days. Pump.fund launched in June 2024, letting anybody create a token in just seconds. Is 90% of it garbage? Yes, but that other 2% made more millionaires than any other protocol in crypto history. Now, Sui is taking a different approach, and it might be genius. Their TVL of 2.6 billion is smaller, but it's growing at 220% year over year. That is the fastest growth rate in crypto. But here's what's really interesting. BTCFi. Sui lets you stake Bitcoin, actual Bitcoin, for 5% yields without ever selling it. No other layer 1 is offering it at the moment. It's pretty crazy. The Sui Play OX1 gaming console also launches later this year. It's a $599 console. It's a physical device that runs blockchain games natively. So no wallet, no setup, no gas fees. Just pick up and play. Games like Abyssal Quest already have 500,000 daily players. And real world assets, Sui has 500 million in tokenized treasuries through Ondo Finance. Right? These aren't meme coins. They're actual US treasuries, bonds, on-chain, earning yield. But here's a critical difference that they just won't tell you. Solana has 7,600 new developers who joined in 2024 alone. It's an 83% increase year over year. They're building in Rust, a language that's hard, but it's powerful. Sui has about 5,000 developers total, coding in Move. All right, it's a smaller army, but Move has specifically designed to prevent the kinds of hacks that plague other chains like Solana. When BlackRock, managing $10 trillion in assets, chooses to tokenize assets on your blockchain, that's not just adoption, it's coronation. Franklin Templeton's US government money fund on Solana, Visa's payment infrastructure, PayPal's PayYUSD stablecoin, these aren't just experiments anymore. This is Wall Street saying Solana is ready for prime time. And the numbers back it up too. According to September 2025 data, Solana's processing 81% of all DEX volume. It's become the NASDAQ of crypto. High frequency, high volume, institutional grade. But Sui's playing a different game, as we said, and it might be even smarter. Instead of competing head to head with Solana for DeFi, they are going to enterprises and gaming. VanEck incorporating Sui into products accessible to millions without crypto wallets. Copper's providing custody infrastructure. These moves suggest Sui's targeting a different customer, one that doesn't even know they're using blockchain. And the gaming play is particularly brilliant. By 2025's end, when someone is playing a game on Sui Play 10X, they won't think, I'm using a blockchain. They'll think, I'm gaming and I'm earning money. This could have mass adoption come through the back door. So after weeks of investigation, tracking wallets, analyzing data, and talking to developers on both chains, here's the uncomfortable truth nobody's going to admit. Both Solana and Sui could succeed, but for different reasons. Solana is becoming the backbone of crypto's financial infrastructure. Yes, it has outages. Yes, it has problems, but so does NASDAQ, and nobody's abandoning the stock market. With Visa, PayPal, and BlackRock building on it, Solana has achieved escape velocity. Maybe. It's too big to fail now. Maybe. Sui is building a different future, one where blockchain is invisible, where gamers can earn without knowing what a wallet is, where enterprises use blockchain without saying blockchain. It's a Trojan horse for mass adoption. So they're not really competing. They're parallel experiments solving different problems. Solana is asking, how fast can blockchain go? Sui is asking, how invisible can blockchain be? And here's the real kicker. The tribalism between these two communities is manufactured drama. The VCs backing Solana probably also back Sui. The developers building on Solana, many are learning Move on the side. The institutional money is coming in, but for both projects. So what should we do from here? Well, here's my honest advice and non-financial advice opinion. Find the projects that you genuinely believe in and back them. Don't get caught up in tribalism. Smart money players know that it's okay to hold more than one coin. And here on the Coin Zone, we are shining a light on all different types of altcoins. Because again, guys, it's not just Solana versus Sui, it's us versus the banks, the middlemen, and the Jamie Dimons of the world. Love them or hate them, the Solana community has built something incredible. They've survived outages, bear markets, the FTX collapse. They've processed billions of transactions and enabled thousands of developers. That deserves respect. The Sui community is innovating in ways that could fundamentally change how we think about blockchain. They're not just iterating, they're reimagining. That deserves recognition. But now I want to hear from you. Are you on Team Solana? Are you Team Sui? Are you Team both? But more importantly, tell me why. I read every single comment, guys, so whatever you guys comment next, I'll take a look at and we could possibly end up covering it in the next episode here on the channel. If you guys felt like you got genuine value from this video, the only ask I have of you is to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Once again, guys, you are watching the Coin Zone. I'm your host, Crypto with Paul, and I'll see you in the next investigation.